saying that, oh, I'm not bored of this game. I'm not playing this game because of the campaign or because there's no other class that is worth me playing. Hello and welcome to this video. Now, we're going to talk about why Path of Exile 2 sucks in its current state. It might not be for why you think, so do listen out. But I will say Path of Exile 2, they are trying to get players and appease players in some of the things they don't like by making changes to loot and pretty much increasing the benefit of using Magic Find with the rarity, quantity. Stack that up, you get better drops. And pretty much you need to try to do that through the campaign or you won't get very good drops. Or you'll have to play trade to buy those drops. It was notable in the 0.2 patch that a lot of the player base went from where they were in like a hardcore over to a trade, and trade became pretty much you had to do to get the most out of your character. Now, Path of Exile 2, the fun factor is not there, in my opinion. This being, the campaign is long, slow, boring. We don't need shiny things like they think. We just need it to be more streamlined. We need if it's going to be so huge, we need a higher base rate of movement speed. Armor needs to be 0 penalty. And a few things that need to change in the way that you actually go through the areas. And I've said in other videos, if it takes you 5 minutes to go from A to B, it doesn't matter whether you got 1, 10, or 100, or even 1,000 checkpoints in the map. It will take you 5 minutes to go from A to B. Now they have taken some of the things from what people have said and everything to try to appease people, and they've relented in some things like the ascendancy change. They said, we will not allow ascendancy change until we further down the line when we decide to or not to. They had to change it because of the fun factor. No one wanted to redo a character just to try another ascendancy, just because this ascendancy sounded cool, looked cool, but played terrible. So they actually had to change that and become changeable through different trials, which was a change that the community forced them to make. They did not make. A lot of the changes they have made, the community forced them to change because the fun factor is not there. People didn't want to play. They don't actually, whatever their vision is, the core base that's come over from Path of Exile 1 either don't see it, don't like it, don't really see the flow of it, or they are so behind in actually showing us the real vision because they're so behind in everything that maybe the vision just isn't in the game yet. But they're changing what they think the game should be to what the PoE base think it should be more than what they would like. That might change. They might launch Path of Exile 2 when it's all done in like 2, 3 years, 4 years, when we get like 3.27 in like 2, 3 years. And then we might have a completely different game. Now, to increase the fun aspect of it, the skills need to be better. The bad skills need to be increased. The good skills need to not get nerfed unless they're like the lightning spear and everything where they've over nerfed it because they've launched a class that sucks, so they need to over buff a class's skills to make people want to play it. So they need to nerf the stuff that over things like they usually do, but they need to make the pretty much if a player turns up, plays the game, and they go, oh, this looks cool, this looks cool, this looks cool, puts it all together, they can get through the campaign. Pretty much if you don't follow a certain sort of way that you got to play through the game a few times to actually get it in your head or used to it, or follow the meta and buy things either from trade, third party, whatever. A lot more third party buying has been happening, and a lot more currency buying from third parties based on what I've seen on Discord, Reddit, all the different outlets for people to either advertise their stuff or say that they're doing this, that, the other thing. Which is wrong, because Path of Exile shouldn't require that. You should be able to get all that you want through that, and I don't recommend you doing it. But I have seen an increase in the amount of people doing that and the amount of people paying real money for a leveled character. Now, if they're going to have such large areas like they do, we need increased speed, better skills, the areas to be more streamlined and less dead ends, and also the armor penalty non-existent, if I didn't say that. And then on top of that, the actual creature base, they need to figure out what's the hardest thing. Rares, uniques, trash, because it seems to constantly change whether the trash is more difficult than the rares, and the rares are more difficult than the uniques. And then sometimes the skills warrant themselves towards a boss killer and rares, and then can't kill trash. So they need to completely fix that. I'll give 50% that is early access, 50% I don't know what they're doing. Now, I won't give them an excuse. Oh, it's early access. Path of Exile 2 has only been out, blah, blah, blah. They've had like 10 plus years with Path of Exile 1. It's the same people, the same developers. They've taken developers from Path of Exile 1, taken them off Path of Exile 1, put them on Path of Exile 2. Hence why we don't have a 3.26, because no one was working on it until the launch of 0.2, if they even put them back on it then. So don't give me that they're inexperienced. They're just a handful of people in a back room working on 10-year-old computers. They got no money. They're just poor people. Yeah, don't give me that rubbish. Go jump on some Backside Kickers stream or something. So yeah, to increase the actual fun aspect of Path of Exile, the campaign needs to be something you have to do, not something that you don't want to do because you just rather not play the game, or you'd rather play the one character, or maybe you leveled another character with the stuff you farmed with that first character, so you got through it a little easier. But there's no way you're doing another character, because there's no point, because you only play meta, because there's no point playing some random build unless you're a streamer trying to just make content. The casual base does not want to do it. So that's an issue for Path of Exile 2 in a business sense. The casual base need to follow builds and play meta if they don't play all that often. Say you're a weekend gamer. As a casual weekend gamer, you must follow a guide, you must play meta, you cannot deviate from that, or you won't get to any of the good content pretty much until the next changes. And then you might have to level a whole new character because they just trashed all that, because maybe you started on 0.2, you've got a character, you've got it to endgame, and now you really don't want to level another character. So you go play some other game because you don't want to play another character because of the campaign, because of the skills, not because you're bored of the game. People not being bored of the game but not wanting to play the game should be their priority to fix, but it's not. It's, oh, what can we change in the super end game to appease all these people that make content? No. Focus on your casual player. That will increase the fun aspect, which will increase the amount of people playing the game, which will increase the amount of content that people watch, which means that people at the end game doing all the content get more views, get more everything. So it appeases them anyway. It's, people don't know business when they're just so focused in trying to focus on one thing, trying to get that right. They need to look at the big picture and just focus on the campaign being a chore, not saying that, oh, I'm not bored of this game. I'm not playing this game because of the campaign or because there's no other class that is worth me playing. Now, I'll leave it there. Now, the patch upcoming is pretty much nothing. It's some things that streamers and that have wanted, the like filter stuff and all that. It's not a big patch, nothing really to worry about. But yeah, the patch that's coming is to fix some things that people had a problem with the last patch. But I'll leave it there. You let me know what you think and the state of the game and all that, and whether we're going to get the next league in June for Path of Exile 1. Are we going to get the next league after that, like 2-3 years later? I'll catch you next time, and goodbye.